Hello everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be my first chance of trying to live broadcast in two places at once. If you have any issues, you can just try to, if you leave some comments, I might be able to see that. So it'll be an adventure either way. We'll just see what happens. But thank you for joining me. I am Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts, and I am from Oak Grove, Minnesota, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I haven't been here for a while, so I am so pleased to be back and kind of back in the saddle again. I've been blessed enough to be able to go on a vacation with my family, and we have some other family things going on, and now I am back home to the chilly Minnesota, and we had to say goodbye to the palm trees and the green and the nice warm weather. I'm sure some of you live in that area, so I'm a little jealous of that, but it sure is nice to be able to go visit. I am going to be showing you tonight a few ideas on what to do with some of those freebies that you've hopefully gotten from the a-bration sale that's been going on in January and February. It ends on February 28th, which is just around the corner, a couple days. So how that works is with every $50 order you put in, you get to choose a free item from our a-bration catalog. And it might be a pack of paper, it might be a stamp set. There's quite a few different choices in there, and depending on the amount you choose or that you spend, it gives you more choices. And I know quite a few of you have taken advantage of that sale, that special going on, and as I have as well, so that's been kind of nice. But I wanted to give you some ideas and show you some samples of some things that I've made and others have made using those free products that you've earned. And like I said, if you haven't gotten yours yet, or maybe you're waiting for them to come in the mail, this will still be good information for you. For those of you on YouTube, I'm saying hello to you. And Facebook, I have Facebook Live, so that would be my Keep in Touch Crafts sites for both of those, and I am Teresa Glow. We're going to be getting started down here with making some cards, and then after that I'm going to show you some other samples using other items. I'm going to be using the Daffodil Afternoon paper. That's kind of my showcase for this project, but I am going to be showing you a lot of other samples too, in case you've chosen something different than the Daffodil Afternoon. I know that that was one really popular paper or choice from that a-bration catalog. We have some other specials going on right now and some that are coming up very soon, and I'm going to show you some ideas and show you some of those deals coming up as well then. So the first thing, we have to have fun by doing our craft. So we're going to start in by making cards, showing samples, and then we'll go on from there. And also, before I forget, if you do place a $50 order during a-bration, your name goes in for the drawing to get a free stamp set. And I had announced that back in January, so I wanted to remind you in case you wanted to do that. Let's get down to our workstation here, and we are going to get busy. I'm going to start right in with making a card, and it's going to showcase that paper I was telling you about. It comes in a 12 by 12 sheets in a big pack that looks like this. And you get this pack of paper. It says it has, it's 12 by 12 paper. How many sheets? It doesn't say. Daffodil Afternoon. I'm going to show it to you. Oh yeah, 12 sheets on there, in there. And I'm going to show you some samples of it and just some ideas. So let's get our supplies. I'm going to start out with using, this is one of the papers that are in that pack for the Daffodil Afternoon. This is a lot of greens in there. A little bit of our coordinating paper colors, our mint macaron. We have pear pizzazz green, and we have the mossy meadow, and evening evergreen is in the background. Just about any green you have is going to coordinate with this paper. And I'm going to bring in my supplies that I'll be using. Maybe you would like to see some of the paper. It is in our a-bration catalog. It's one of the first ones in the front. Again, this goes until February 28th. So your choices in here are only going to be available until then, and then they go away after that. So just to warn you, I really like this Island Vibes. It's kind of takes me back to the vacation I was on recently. And the paper is, where is it? This is another favorite I loved, this Simply Marvelous paper. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Oh gosh, why did I think it was in the front? Go slower. It is in the front. I just skipped it accidentally. So it is on page 4 and 5, and you can see that it has some beautiful papers with it, and they always give you some ideas. It does coordinate with the daffodil bundle that we have right now, a stamp set. It kind of shows it a little bit right here. That's a stamp set. And the dies that we have, you do not need those though. You can just use the paper as is. And as you'll see, this is a paper that has a lot going on. You do not need to add much more to it. And we'll go through and look at some of the other things in a moment. But let's get our supplies. So you're going to need a piece of designer series paper, and that just means it's our patterned paper, patterned on 2 sides. The reason I like this project is it's going to show 2 sides of paper, not just one. Sometimes we make something and then we never see the other side, but we will on this project. By the way, I want to give a shout out and a grateful nod to Kelly Atchison and Lisa Nealand. Those are 2 people that had this idea that I had found, and so I want to make sure that you know that Lisa Nealand and Kelly Atchison are the ones that gave me this idea, and I didn't deviate much from what they did just because it was such a beautiful, simple card. It's something anyone can do. You don't need a lot of supplies, and so I really want to try to help those people out who don't have the whole catalog yet and want to still be able to make pretty things. So you're going to see that this will be a fun project for you. And this is just a pattern that I made. I'll show you that in a moment. So other than designer series paper, you're going to need some colored paper. And I cut a piece of ribbon that we have here. How big is it? Oh, I could just actually use my paper. This grid paper down here has a little ruler on it. It's about 5.5 inches long, and this is a mint macaron, I believe. Yeah, and beautiful satin ribbon that we have. You can use whatever you want that coordinates with your paper, and you just need a short amount, very little, a good way to use up scraps. And I'm also going to be putting a little bling on there. I just got a new pack of the Holiday Rhinestones Basic Jewels. These are a mainstay in my craft cupboard because they have so many neat colors that go with so many things. I really like using these on many projects. So whatever you have for bling, you can get out. And then the colored coordinated cardstocks, you can use 2 colors. You can have like a neutral and then a color, or I'm choosing 2 kind of colored for the cardstocks. I'm going to use mint macaron. I have 2 pieces here. One of them is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and another one is 4 1/4 by 5.5. I am going to be punching with our double oval punch, and this is what this one looks like. It's super nice because it punches out the mat, and it also can punch out your sentiment, and then that layers together. A really nice staple to have as well. You do not need that. You can cut it yourself if you'd rather just cut rectangles. You can do that for your card front, and I'll show you that a little bit very soon here. This was our Flirty Flamingo. It coordinates with the flowers here. You could use white also. I'll see if I want to make sure you can see this okay. So this one, I'm also going to be punching on this one before I put it together. Let's see, which one can't I? I want to make sure I don't punch out of the bottom one though. I might not have been thinking on that one, because that is going to show, we don't want the bottom one. This is going to mat on here, and it's going to be covered up, but whatever I punch out of this back one, that is going to show, so I don't want to punch this one. not the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that is not right. Don't do that. Okay. But this mint macaron is going to be an insert, and so you'll see what that's for. What we can do is we can start with, where do we begin? Let's do a little bit of the assembly. There's not a whole lot to do. This is, like I said before, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's just your standard 8 1/2 by 11 size cardstock, and if you cut that into fourths, then that is going to be one of the fourths right here. And I'm going to choose a horizontal orientation for my card. Then this is going to go on top of it, and it's not going to have much of a border. Just this thin border of the mint macaron is going to show. But before I do that, I am going to punch out the scalloped, I only need the scalloped one. Ooh, I've got to be careful not to punch something I don't want. Oh, that's not going to work. I did not think this through because I don't want it, well, that might work. I don't think it'll show if I do it right there because it only has a little teeny bit that shows. I could even do another one just to have some extras because this will not be seen. You're going to have this underneath, but no one will know, okay? We're going to put these ovals aside. I'll be bringing those back soon. We're going to adhere this panel onto the mint macaron. Remember, this was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's adhere, okay? I'm going to grab some adhesive. You could use about anything. Because it doesn't have to be a special adhesive that's super strong. I mean, all of our adhesive is nice and strong. Oh, this one's empty. Oh, brother. I was all prepared, too. I think I may be rusty from vacation. How's that? Is that a good excuse? I can hope. All right. Sam is watching. Sam, you're my first person that has seen me do on 2 different places. At least that's my hope, is that I am on Facebook and I am on YouTube. So hopefully that is the case. And Sam's tuning in as one of my first witnesses of this, although Craig is probably checking it out in the other room too. He said he would let me know if there were any issues. And let's go ahead and put this in the center there. Nice, even, small border all the way around. All right, and then our card, the actual folding part of our card is going to go on top of that. All right, so let's bring that in. This is our designer series paper, 5 1/4. Oops, I'm a little close. 5 1/4 wide by the full, is it 12 inches here? Yes. 5 1/4 by 12. So our paper comes in 12 by 12 sheets. You're going to be cutting it 5 1/4 by 12, so you'll still have, you'd be able to get 2 of these actually out of 1 piece of designer series paper. And then what you do, so let's say you have your trimmer and you just cut it at 5 1/4. Okay, the width was 5 1/4, as you can see here, 5 1/4. Then the length is, we didn't have to cut that down because that is the full 12-inch length. Okay, so it goes to the 12 down here. But I do want to score, and I am going to score at 4 inches. Just a real light score on this. This is my scoring blade. This is my cutting blade. So my scoring blade is just a real light score because this is a little bit lighter weight than cardstock, and that is able to sometimes tear if you go too hard on it. So you just want a nice light score. And then I have another score at 8. So you're just scoring at 4 and 8. And that's going to give you 3 equal panels, 4 inches. So it's 3 inches for each panel. And then what we're going to do now is You want to be keeping your eye on the direction of your pattern. My pattern kind of goes up and down like this. It probably wouldn't look as good if it was a horizontal, like oriented like this. So I have it going this direction, and when I turn it over and fold it up, I want it and down, I want to make sure that it's going the right way, because this is going to be kind of how it's going to open. We're going to have this go up and this go down. Just make sure that the pattern isn't sideways or something. So just test that first before you do anything. Then on this bottom panel here, here's our top. Establish which one is your bottom, and I am going to be cutting this panel at an angle. And actually I'm going to be cutting it from, if you're just looking at this bottom section, 3-inch section, the top left corner down to the bottom right corner. Okay, so you're going to put it on your trimmer, and I am putting this corner where it comes together, which is, I'll see if I can kind of make it a little bigger so you can see. I don't know if you can. But we're putting that in the track, and then this corner is going to, this point is going to the track as well, so that we're going to have a nice corner to corner cut on this bottom panel. So I'm just taking my time to make sure it's lined up there, and then we are going to use our cutter this time, and we're going to cut that portion off, and we are going to use this for part of it for something else here, so don't throw it away. And what we're going to do now is we're going to be folding it up, and we're going to be gluing it into place here. Now I had a previous miscalculation, I guess you'd say, and I had drawn my cut mark on there, but I had not cut my paper the right width. So that's why this line is here. Disregard that. It's not going to show. It's going to be folded up. But you want to, again, make sure your center, your inside pattern of your paper is oriented the right way, as well as like I was showing you before. So test that out before you cut it while you're planning your actual project. Trimmer out of the way. Now this is the section, all we're going to do is glue this flap up. So I am going to put adhesive just on this left edge, and we're going to fold it up, put it into place here, and then I'm going to grab a bone folder and just give it a nice crisp fold here, and then that'll make it all the more nice and straight and get it real crisp. Nice folds on it. Alright, so this is basically what our card is going to look like. You can see there's a lot going on there, a lot of color, and you know, you can use a subtle paper, whatever paper you have will work for this. And then we're going to make an insert to go in the pocket. Okay, we're also going to adhere this onto the base, and that just kind of brings it all together. It brings out those colors, the flirty flamingo here, and then this lighter green is the color that is in here. So that just kind of really makes it all pop. We'll go ahead and adhere this panel, and it's actually the center panel. You'll just put adhesive on that. You could use tear and tape if you'd like, whatever you prefer. You could also use the liquid glue that I use a lot of times. Any of those will work just fine. And it's got a very narrow border, so you just want to really make sure it's good and straight, because that's going to show. You'll be able to really tell if you get it off. I think this will be okay. Alright, so that's kind of the basic components of our card. And let's go ahead and make the insert. We're going to use the other piece of mint macaron that we had, that is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. This will be that insert. Grab your piece of paper that you had cut off, and we're going to be decorating this to be putting it inside of our pocket. And so with that in mind, when it's in here, you got to think, you know, like what kind of designer series paper do I want to show? So that'll be in there. And then I'm going to have just a narrow, I could put this one on there, or I could put this side on there too, whichever one I prefer. I'm probably just going to do the one that matches this front piece. So I'm going to just cut off a 1/2 inch piece of this one that we had cut off before. So I'm just lining this up onto that 1/2 inch mark here. And we can hold it in place and just kind of press it down, and this gives us an area to press down so it doesn't move. And then we just give that a cut. And then I'm going to actually use this to decorate my envelope. So if you have an envelope you want to decorate, that's going to match very nicely. And we're going to go ahead and keep decorating here. Now, one thing I did notice about this glued edge, I kind of went in a little too far, I think. I think it'd be better to have a thinner piece here, maybe use the liquid Tombow, and then I think this I just went too far over. I wasn't really paying attention as well as I should have, and it's not going in as far. So I might just trim this one down a little bit before I, before I finish it, just to make it not look like it's sticking out so far. I'm just trimming a little bit off. This is how to fix something that you kind of messed up on the fly here. I think it'll just look a little better. There we go, yeah. It just fits in there a little better. And so then I am gonna have on this one side, I'm gonna go ahead and put that Designer Series paper piece that I just cut off. It doesn't really look like much, but you kind of get a little, you get a glimpse of the flower on there. And then I can go ahead and just trim off a little bit of this with my paper snips. Let's just give that a little cut, and then if I need to cut more, I can. I like to leave just a titch showing, how's that? A little bit showing on the side, so I'm going to adhere that like this. This is our seal. It's called seal adhesive. It's very sticky, very strong. We have several adhesives. They work for, you know, it just kind of depends what you like, and kind of depends on the project and how they work with different parts of your project. All right, so that is going to add a little bit here onto this centerpiece. And this will just have a little message on it. You could put a gift card in there with it. You could stamp your sentiment here. Depending on what you want to do with this, you could even have a photo in there, or a photo up here. But I'm kind of trying to keep it simpler so that you can see that you can do this. You don't have to have a lot of stuff, a lot of things to be able to make this. We're going to put that on there. We're going to put this on here. And we are going to put a little sentiment here. And what I've chosen to do is use another of the stamp sets that you can get as a freebie from a-bration, just so that you can get some ideas if this is something you picked. I'm going to use Thinking of You on the sentiment. Isn't that a cool font? I don't know if you can see that very well, but Thinking of You is here. It's just kind of scripty and rounded a little bit. Really fun. I love what they're doing with fonts. They interchange them. They'll put different fonts together, that kind of thing, which is really a popular look right now. So if you needed a pattern, by the way, for your Designer Series paper, this isn't the best anymore, just because I had made that mistake of the size. This is 5 1/4. Goodness, just noticed it right before I went on. I'm like, what have I done? So in case you want to make a pattern for yourself, 5 1/4 by 12, 4-inch score, 8-inch score, and then you're going to cut right there, okay? And then this is your decorative piece. We probably could have cut, you know, what I could do as well would be, again, on the fly, I think of these things at the most random times. Maybe what I'll do is use an oval. I'll cut it out of this one, It's not really going to show much, but it'll bring the, oops, it'll bring the outside, I mean the inside out. The inside is this, and then that will repeat that a little bit on the front. Okay, so those will just barely show a little bit. I'm going to be stamping my sentiment on here. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, which means it's just a clear type of stamp, and which is nice because you can see right where you're going with your stamp because you'll be putting ink on there. But now since there's not foam on this, it's nice to stamp on a foam surface if you can. So if you have a piece of dense foam, you know, it can be thicker or thinner. It just helps to get a better impression. And I'm going to be using the Evening Evergreen, the real dark green, for the ink for this sentiment. And I'm going to give this a try on there and see how it's looking. Pretty good. And hopefully I'll do that okay on the actual piece. I gotta stand up. Can't see without getting my big head in the way. I hope this is straight. If not, yay. Is it straight enough? I don't know. I'm gonna try again on the other side. I feel like it was not quite as straight as I would like. My head in the way? I hope not. All right, we'll give this one a try now. All right, let's take a look. Here's one side. I think that one looks straight. Yeah, that was the one that went uphill a little bit. So I'm going to use this side, and I'm going to use this this side like so. And let's put some adhesive on the back. Oh goodness, I'll get it mixed up again. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to match this on there like so. And I'm going to use dimensionals on the back to pop it up a little bit off of the front. You could just put the sentiment on the inside if you'd just rather do that, and maybe have a flower or something on the front. Just depends what you want on there, but you can use your imagination, come up with your own versions. All right, now I'm going to decide if I want to keep this cut, these ends cut like this. I'm probably going to trim them. I sometimes like them going the same way, sometimes up and down. I think I am going to trim it a little bit, but I'm going to have them going the same direction. There's really no right or wrong. You just see a little bit of everything. So it's whatever you like. And then if I want to match it up a little bit, make sure the angles are the same, I'll just kind of hold it here. And use, I could even cut them both together. And then I'm going to adhere this ribbon onto my front of my card here. I think I'm going to put the narrow end, the narrow part up, points down. Again, you wouldn't have, you could do this. You could do, I've seen people kind of do kind of a loopy deal. Loopy deal, how's that? Kind of adhere it down like so. And then put this over top and have it just kind of looped behind. There's just no rules, so whatever you like. I usually tend to go just straight, but again, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to put the adhesive right directly on the ribbon, and I'm just going to put it in the center so the edges are open, you know, like up. They aren't adhered down, so I can trim a little more if I want. Can make sure I have my card going the right way. Make sure it's straight. If you want to, you could get a ruler And you could just kind of line up the bottom edge. Make sure that you have it straight if you're not trusting your eye, because I know there have been times that I thought, oh, that's straight, and then I go back and look later and it's like not. It was optical illusion, looking at it crooked or something. And let's see how I want this here. Whoops, it's wrong scissors. Okay. Oh, I need new scissors. I think I must have used them on something I shouldn't have. Or maybe I think Sam got into my craft room and started using my scissors on things. How's that for a pass the buck? Sam did it, yeah. That'll be a good test to see if he's listening. Not that I would have to test him. Wow, this is horrible. I'm hacking it. What is going on? New scissors. Gotta get them. Okay. Sentiment, where are you? We're going to adhere that on. Now, in order to use comments, I believe, on YouTube, you have to be signed into a personal account. Then you can leave comments. So if you're here, feel free to leave a comment, anybody, if you'd like. And then I'll know you're here. Most of my views are later on, though. People, watching on the replay. And again, this is just bugging me. I do not like this ribbon. It looks terrible. I'm gonna be trying a plan B here. And I want to go. Can you see? I'm just changing my mind as I go. There, I think that looks okay. That just shows a little bit of color here that breaks it up from the background. Well, I better quit soon or there won't be any left. All right. And then just a little bling to put on there. You wouldn't need to do that either. As you can see, it's the background paper is very busy, so you don't need to do a whole lot. I just got these. I typically open my little jewels here on the side, and then I can slip them in and out of the packaging. And I still keep the package, all the original packaging that way, so I can see the name. And because if you take it off of here, then it's easy to forget which of them that you are working with. I could use either the light ones or the dark ones for the green. Those would probably work best. I wish I could say, hey everybody, what do you think? I think I'm going to actually go with the lighter ones just because that will bring out some more of the lighter mint macaron color. And I'm going to grab my handy dandy fill in the blank. It's not a notebook. Does anybody know why I'm saying that? Handy dandy notebook? If you do, let me know. But I'm going to use my handy dandy take your pick tool. And that is the one that will get these gems up there and take them off really easily and put them where I want them. Where is that? I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to take I'm going to use 3. So I have one a little bit larger, and then I'm going to use 2 more, and you can kind of think of a V, an odd number, and then think of V as well, and then that, where'd it go? Did it not come up? It's probably like on my sleeve or something. That's typically what I do. So I have just 2 on there. I'm going to try grabbing one more. I don't know what I did there. And the third one, where do we want it? Go here. I'm just going to kind of keep these together a little bit to kind of make that focal point have a little bit of bling. A couple of them here and one here. And thinking of you. And then your insert, can pull this out. You can stamp a sentiment if you want, write your message, whatever you want to do on that. Or you could, you know, put a little gift card in there or whatever. Then we just have our actual envelope. We want to get one of those decorated. So I am going to get an envelope here. Oh, where'd I put it? I totally rearranged, so I'm having to find stuff again. I think this is... sorry guys, hang on here. Alright, so I have an envelope. I believe this is the right one. Yeah, that'll work fine. And a lot of times what I like to do, especially if I am using a paper pack, I like to use the Designer Series paper and adhere it to the flap. That's probably my favorite way. But if you're just trying to use your paper that 5 1/4 by 12 strip, then you can use something that off of the actual leftover piece here. You could put something from this either side on there. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip and just put a narrow strip on one edge of this, and that kind of repeats what I did on the inside. So I had a strip, a 1/2 inch strip on the right, so I'm going to put a 1/2 inch strip, yeah, I guess 1/2 inch should be okay. Another strip then on that right hand side of the envelope, because as I've heard many people say, we want no naked envelopes. You want to kind of give a little peekaboo to whatever you're sending, so they're going to be like, wow, this looks like something cool. I want to open this up. At least I didn't get junk mail for once. And then that little bit of decoration on your envelope is going to have your recipient go, ooh, I think this is something cool. So then we can put this on here. It does not, you know, your stamp is going to be up here, so you don't have to have it go clear to the top. So I'll just trim off a little bit here and then get some adhesive on here. And I believe, you know, this isn't too, it's a little bit thick, but it's not too bad. It shouldn't be too thick for going through the mail. You shouldn't have too much trouble with that. I usually always use those butterfly non-machinable stamps, and that makes it so they hopefully won't run it through their automated machines, which it can kind of beat up on your handmade things. So if you use one of those, that might ensure that it'll get there in better shape. Another tip I can give you on mailing is to take like a piece of cardstock or just something and put it over the area that has the biggest bump on it, like this. So like what I do is have like little foam sheets that I've gotten in other things in the mail, or you might have a piece of cardstock. Let's pretend this is white or some other color. You might want to put it over top. You don't always have to do that, but sometimes it helps to protect it so that it doesn't get as beat up. And when you're putting your card in your envelope, make it so that the front is facing the back. And that helps as well. It tends to get a little bit more rough on this side. So this is where, if it does anything, it's going to be where this embellishment is right here, and it could show a little poke. That's why it's good to have a little something over that if possible, but yet just that one should be okay. But if you're really concerned about it, I would put a little piece of either foam or cardstock over that before you mail it, okay? All right, so that is our project, and I hope you like it, and hopefully it just at least gives you another idea of something you can make with your Designer Series paper that showcases both sides of it, especially, oh, there's my stray one. It showed up. I'll have to get that in a minute. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way and show you a few more things. Let's start with, this is the stamp set that if you place an order on or before February 28th, $50 or more, your name goes in a drawing for this. Amazing silhouettes, stamp set, brand new, never opened. Get your name in there and you can win. That's the drawing prize. I will get that on at the end of the day on February 28th or March 1st, whatever it is. and I will pick a name for that prize. Okay. All right. So my focus tonight is really on celebration because I wanted you to have ideas on what to use your free things on. Like, what do you do with them? What are some projects I can make? These are some of the other pretty paper sets you can get. There's so many. This is maybe one of my favorites because of the versatility. It is really pretty, and you can just imagine the wedding, Valentine cards that you can make with this. The one side is more like a satiny look, like actual satin, and one side is like marble. So it comes in colors that are the pinks and the like the Bermuda Bay, mint macaron color. There's a purpley tones, the blue tones, and yellow. So nice paper pack, and it does coordinate with our colors that we have in our regular catalog. So for most crafters, you may already have some of the ink, or you might have paper or other things that this can work with, because our colors do coordinate together. So if you get this free stamp set, it's going to have the same color like this as does this one. You can see that those would coordinate together because these are part of our collection this year right now, and we do change it up every so often. So you know, we want to keep our colors current with the trends and that kind of thing, and it's so fun that they do coordinate together like that. And even things like you know, you can see these match very well. You could even put them together, especially if you would use the subtle side. That's the beauty. It all coordinates, and it makes it a lot easier, and your projects end up coming out looking much more cohesive and just a nice look. I'm going to show you a little more with the, did I show you the paper even? I probably didn't. I have the paper somewhere. Let me show you. The Daffodil Afternoon is what I used, you know, on the project today. And I just wanted to give you a little better idea of what it looks like because I only showed you one small part of it. So you get at least 2 of each pattern. And this is a real, I want to say wild, I don't know. It's got a lot of color to it, a lot of pop. You don't need much else with this. With this one, you can cut it down the center and then cut it like so, and you can get 6 card fronts out of this. Really beautiful, and it goes so well with our, well, like the Evening Evergreen, that deep green ink that I stamped with tonight. It's so pretty, and the same other colors that I used. Whoops. This is the one that I just used tonight. This is really pretty too. I think it has like a black in the background, so black would really set that off nicely. This is that real nice daffodil color, a real deep gold yellow. Oh, and I really like this as well. Just such a pretty pattern here. Real striking. And again, they all have the same colors in them. Now the nice thing is that's only one side. So then you turn them over and you get the subtle patterns on the other side. And these can be used on those same projects as an accent or whatever else you might want. And you can see what some of those look like. Really like that. And there's more like a plaid. So you can see that one paper pack gives you a lot of choices. I believe the background on this one is the very vanilla, which is more like an ivory. It's not a real white, but either one would work, whichever you happen to have. All right, and a few more projects that I was going to show you. This is the same layout that I just did today, and this one I stamped this. This is the stamp set that comes. We have this in our catalog, our mini catalog, and it coordinates with this paper. You don't need to have it to go along with it, but if you do have this stamp set, you can see how we have these colors, and we can make this match perfectly with the background here. And I just used my blends markers to color that a little bit, and a little bit of a different ribbon. I have different shape back here, and then I had that same layout for this card, and I didn't use too much adhesive on the left, so I didn't have to cut it down. And then this is the envelope flap on the back, so that is what I was talking about earlier. Real nice way to use up a little bit more of your paper, and really that's quite the wow card in my opinion. Then I just wanted to show you, you can keep it simple. I have this as a stamp in that stamp set. Whatever you happen to have, you could cut out a strip of the paper as well, and this is that same layout. Okay, and I know I have a decorated envelope for this somewhere, and I don't know, I know what I was going to show you, because I used the leftover piece. Let's see if I have it here. No, that's not the one. I might come across it as I'm showing you other samples, but I was going to show you how I decorated the envelope for this one. So that, again, is the same layout. Here is oh, here it is. It's hiding, it's right here. This is the piece that was cut off of here, okay? Part of it, just a little piece of it. And then I used another little piece of it on this. So, and I stamped. This is a little, just a strip of one of the stamps in the daffodil stamp set that we have. I know I have that sitting out here to show you. And I put it somewhere safe and sound, apparently, because I probably moved it as I was talking to you. Which I do that to myself. I hide things on myself without paying attention. And I can show you here where it is. Daffodil. This is our current mini catalog. It goes until June. And so we are, you know, anything in here is obviously going to be around for a while. And I suppose there's got to be a better way. I know there's an index. I should have looked that up. Oh, I think I saw it. Yay. Here's the daffodil set that I was telling you about. And this is that stamp that I put on the envelope and on that little bar on the front. I just stamped it in black. It also has Easter and Mother's Day sentiments with it. And they give you loads of ideas. And you should see, I wonder if I have a sample here. I have little leftover pieces that I use on things. Showing you my bad sides here, but I couldn't throw them away. But here's an example of the pretty dies that come in that die set. So if you got the stamp set and the dies, that's a bundle, we call that. You can do a lot with that. But it just die cuts those out and has the details as well. So, oh, excuse me, I think I need a drink of water. But it can be real, just subtle as well. One moment, you guys, sorry. Ooh, okay. So, did I show you all these? Yes, these are the ones that we did today. And I have a goodie box here that I'll show you a few more things in. And this one, this was one that I had gotten at a swap. I think I was just going to show this one to you. Another example of just somebody else's, what they did with their stamps that they had and how they decorated that beautiful paper. I can't show you this yet. Now these, obviously, they're not completed, but I wanted to show you some ideas with that paper. There's no sentiments, there's no bling or anything yet, but it's the start of a card, and you could finish it off however you want. This is another layout I've shown you before. Not as easy to do, but I think that turned out so pretty. I want to finish that one. Here is another layout you could do. Hello Friend, and that is from another stamp set. That is a stamp set that we have as part of our celebration. I believe it was in yep, here it is. Hello Friend. So that was, this is another set. I've shown it to you before, and I'll show you some samples in a bit. Friendly Hello has paper and a stamp set if at the $100 level. So that's where this came from. And now I have I do have a card layout that I haven't shown yet, and I'm going to in the future. And I used this paper, and I made a couple of samples. We have a little ladybug punch out right now, and I made him into a little bee. I don't know if you can see it. There's the little bee on the flower, and I stamped hello on his wing. And I just made the wings, I punched them out of the vellum, and then I just cut some strips and put on the yellow body. Normally, of course, this would be the ladybug with the red, but I made it a little bee. And this is just a really unusual card layout that I'm going to be demonstrating in the future, but it kind of shows you, this is kind of a bit out there as far as, you know, it's not just something you can easily do like the card I showed you earlier, but just something that you can think about trying here in the future. If once they break it down, we break it down for you, it's very doable. And what's nice about this is there are 3 spots here for inserts, and you can put a gift card on there, you could put a sentiment, you could put a photo, but there are 3 different places for you to put notes, and it all just goes together and then it ties together. Now, I would not obviously probably mail this one. If you do, you'd have to put it in like a padded mailer and have it protected. I wouldn't, you know, just put it in a regular envelope. That would be a mess. So it would not be good. But if this is something you're going to give to somebody in person, or you are sending it, you're sending it with other things in the mail, you could do it that way, because it's a really special card. You don't just make 100 of this type of card, because there's a lot to it. I can't make a bow today, my goodness. Okay, that was that layout, and then I made another one very similar, but I put the bee just on a different type of cardstock there. Is that upside down? Geesh. There, isn't he cute? And it's up on dimensionals, so he's kind of sticking up a little bit. And then this one, I didn't put the ribbon on it yet, but again, it's just this kind of a insert type of layout. I put on this one, thinking of you. All right, then I did just a card to say you're amazing. And what was on this one? It's a surprise. I don't even remember. Happy birthday. Oh, isn't that fun? You could, this would be a special card for somebody. So I thought that was beautiful. I will be showing you how to make that in the future. That one will be a bit of a, you know, that was a little bit harder one to make, but it is doable if you follow along. You can do that. All right. Now, quick, I want to show you some other ideas on using a-bration freebies, and then I will get you up to date on a couple things, and then I got to let you go. This was one that I made using that same paper. I used 4 different pieces. You can use up scraps that way and kind of make 4 panels, and I just had the ribbon kind of separate those panels, sending all the hugs, and I like to put a little piece on the inside as well. All right. What else do we have? Now, these aren't my favorite, but they're okay. These are using the simple marvelous paper, just kind of an abstract type with the different color combinations, scalloped edge dies, just kind of fun. I wanted to play around with some of the colors and some of that marvelous paper. So those, you could put a sentiment on there and a little bling, and you've got a birthday card, thank you card, whatever. All right, then we have a set with these little otters on it. They're so cute. And they're very easy to do. You can just, what we call fussy cut, just cut around it after you've used blends to color it in. I should just take this one out. I should have had it ready. The only thing I did on this envelope was put a little of that flower that was in his hand right there for birthday flowers, I'm assuming. Maybe he's bringing, what are they, dandelions to his mom. Oh, goodness. So I didn't do much for that envelope. And this one just has 3 patterns of that same black and white, or it's actually vanilla paper. And I just colored in a few of these yellow, the same yellow in the ribbon. It's actually called Bumblebee is the name of our color, of that color. And then hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. And there's some more of that repeated color there. So that was one idea. And then we have, here's the otter again. Same paper pack, believe it or not, only totally different side. So it's a lot more of a subtle look. These are some dies we have that are diorama dies. This was given to me on a swap, and I don't have the name for it. So, oh, sorry. But it was a beautiful idea. Here is another swap. You are utterly awesome. I wonder if I did this one. I might have made this one. Again, using that bumblebee ribbon that we have. I don't have a ton more, just a few. Now, another pack of paper is, we have it rainbow. I think I showed it to you earlier. It coordinates with the set rainbow stamp set and a whole bunch of items in our mini catalog. Rainbow. I will try to find it quick for you. I thought it, well, here's a little bit of a heads up on it, kind of giving you an idea of things you can do with it. I thought it was right kind of there. That's the tulip one. Okay, rainbows, everybody's been doing them. They're like all over. So you've probably been seeing more rainbows lately, and it's because of these sets. Of course, I'm not gonna find it very quickly. When you want to be in a hurry and you're not prepared, yeah, that's not the best way to do it. See if I can find out where it goes. So the rainbow is page 18. Mini catalog, page 18. All right, almost there. Really? Where's 18? Oh, it's like stuck. No wonder I never was gonna find it. All right, there we go. So this set is Rainbow of Happiness bundle. I've seen it all over. It's very cute. This a-bration paper pack that you can get with your, that was another of the freebies. It does coordinate with that set. So you can see there's a lot of bright, fun colors with that. A lot you can do with it. Just a ton of samples there. So that's what this was made from. I think maybe Rachel made this one. That's so pretty though, isn't it? That might, I don't know who made it. I can't remember them all anymore. Sorry, guys. And another example using that paper. Okay. This one was really pretty as well. And it says, sending you a rainbow of happiness. This one has a belly band, we call that. And then it has this die on it. Happy birthday. This calls for a celebration. And this is more what we call the Memories and More card pack. It's just a little bit smaller size. And I also decorated, I decorated the envelope with that. That coordinates as well. And here was another one. I received this from Lori. Oh goodness, Lori Callis, I think. And she was showing, isn't that neat how you can make the photopolymer strips, they can bend. I don't know if this one was already that way or not, but just another fun way to get your sentiment on here. This is just stuff I was playing with, another stamp set. I didn't finish these, but there's this is just another stamp set that you could have earned, and I really like it. I haven't gotten much done with it. And this was part of it as well, the pineapple on there. All right, I know I showed you this on a different show, but I wanted to make sure not everybody has seen it maybe. I made a note card set to put in what we call our mini paper pumpkin boxes. And this is using that $100 stamp set that or actually not a stamp set, a celebration item. And that one was with $100. It was the paper pack and the stamp set that goes with it. That was the one that had the sentiment that said, "Hello, friend." And here I just decorated the front. It's some of that paper and a little bit of we have a ribbon that's kind of a mesh, and it's kind of metallic. I don't know if you can see that. And here's just some note cards that I made to fit in this box. It is using that stamp set and paper. Oh, I like this one. Isn't that pretty? Hope you have the best birthday. And the hello friend, we saw that earlier too. Just still a different way to use it. And this one has just the white is embossed with the gingham embossing folder. You have my love and support. A nice way to fill out a card front is to take a piece of your designer series paper and cut it into strips, and it just adds a lot of detail. Hello friend. And I mix them up a little bit, like this has some linen thread on it. And the last one in this set is you have my love and support. These are colored with the blends, nothing on the inside. I have a few layers of that twine here. And this would just be a great gift for somebody to have a bunch of note cards, and there's different sentiments and everything, so it'd be a variety of note cards for somebody, and all comes packaged up in this little box that you can shut here. It is food grade as well, so that waxy layer you can choose to, when you construct this mini paper pumpkin box, you can have that waxy shiny on the outside or the inside, whichever you prefer. If you have it on the inside, it is food safe. So just to know that, you can put some cookies or whatever, your famous fudge or something in there. Or carrots. No, I don't know. Okay, that is the samples I was going to show you. I'm almost done. I just want to show you a couple things going on, and then I'm going to let you go. I thank you so much for sticking with me this long. So, celebration, almost done. And I told you enough about that, right? The next paper pumpkin coming out, the deadline is going to be March 10th. And it is going to have this, it's called Beyond the Horizon. And this is going to have coordinating items that go along with this. This is a paper set in our mini catalog. And it's actually a suite of products called New Horizons. And our paper pumpkin coming out is going to have this same theme, same kind of look to it, and it's going to coordinate with this if you happen to have it. You do not have to have this. The nice thing about paper pumpkin sets are that they are all inclusive. Everything you need except maybe snips are going to be there. It looks like it's going to make, they don't tell us everything, but they did give us a heads up that there are going to be 2 stamp sets in this one. So that is going to really help build your craft supplies up. You'll have 2 stamp sets. You're going to have an ink spot's going to come with it. They come different colors each month. You can get 1 month or more, but you can choose to keep it going as well. All right, so 2 stamp sets come in there. It is going to have paper pieces and embellishments that coordinate with New Horizons Suite. And it has that watercolor look, and their in-house artists created all of these. And this paper, the New Horizons paper, it just is something else. It's so beautiful. Like, if I had one paper craft or one paper pack to get out of this mini catalog, I would get this one. I mean, you can only imagine. This is all, like they said, in-house artwork that they made into their paper, and it's all watercolor, and some of it is kind of even like landscaping, so you barely have to do anything. The stamp set here has some birds and that kind of thing, a beach look to it. There is a die set, but you do not need much else other than this paper. Strategically cut it. You're gonna be able to do so much with this. It's a 6x6 designer series paper pack, and it coordinates with a bunch of our colors, and it's two-sided. It's just gorgeous. So if our paper pumpkin is gonna have something to do with a coordinating set with this, you're gonna love it, because this is so pretty. I mean, we do not know what's gonna come in the set. We don't like get a sample. We just get ours sent to us same time you do. So it's kind of fun just to see what comes every month, and just never know what you're gonna get. And there have been times where I've looked at the set that they said that's coming, and they give you a little sneak peek to it, like this one, and I thought, I do not even like that. Should I even get it? And then I get it, and I love it. So you just never know. And they all are so different. Like the one this month, I just have these three cards that I put all of the pieces in there. I haven't made them yet. It hasn't come for very long, but it's got a totally different vibe to it than some of the others are going to be more floral. This one is kind of a sillier, whimsical. There you go. It has some vellum pieces in it. It's got the banners for your sentiments. It did come, oh, and then it has these nice colored, like leaves in there, and some characters, and a lot you can do with it. Now, if you get your paper pumpkin and you think this is not my style, you know, it's not the stamping or the style of things I do, if you go on to Pinterest or you know, ask around, you're gonna find alternatives for all of these, and the number of alternatives I've seen are just unbelievable. And you can take something and make it so it's not so whimsical or something. Maybe your style is masculine or the whatever. You can just make it your own, put it that way. And we're gonna have lots of ideas out there for you. We have a set right now called All Together, and this is a stamp set. Hope you can see that. And it features hands, like the hearts and the different colored hands. It comes with a bunch of our new blends, and those are our alcohol ink markers, and we now have all these natural tones. So they call them natural tones, and it comes with 5 different sets, and each set has a light and a dark of each color. So those can be used, because these the paper pack that comes with it is black and white, and you can color it in then to make it whatever colors you want. And it does coordinate with things coming out in our new catalog in June. I do believe some of these markers are on back order, so you might not be able to order it, the whole entire suite of products all at once, but it was available starting February 1st. You can get the individual items. Maybe if you only want the bundle, which would be the stamp set and the dies. Here's the dies. Then you could just get that. Or maybe you only want the blends or only the paper. The paper is going to be going away, I know, on the paper goes away. What did it say? I think it was, this set is good, gosh, where did I put it? Here we go. Until May 2nd of 2022. You'll still see parts of it, I believe, but not the whole entire collection. And it says while supplies last. So one other thing that we just learned about this week is that we are going to be having a sale on our mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. This would be a chance for you, if you're a new crafter, to be able to get a good deal on an embossing machine, and that is what we use to cut out with dies to make all of those shapes with that you can cut out. And you can use embossing folders, which are like So first here, this is what the machine looks like. This is just a little one as compared to the big one. Yowza. So this is our standard one. You can see that it's quite a bit smaller, more portable. If you're going to go away for a weekend, you'd want to, and you still want to do some die cutting or embossing, you'd want to bring this little one if you could. Not every single die or embossing folder is going to work in this because it only has this little opening here. So the die can't be wider than this section, and I believe that is approximately a little less than 4, so about a 3.5 inch width is the maximum. But we do have a bunch of products that work with this. It comes with all the plates to make the sandwich, and you crank it through, and then you're going to cut things out. You're going to dry emboss. Here's an example of the embossing folders that we have, and you put your paper in here, and then you put it with your plates. It tells you exactly how to do it. You crank it through, and then you have that embossing on your project, and it really makes a difference. It's a fun step up to your crafting. So that is going to be discounted beginning March 1st. It's only in March that they're going to have this. The mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is normally $60. It'll be $48. They also are going to discount some bundles, stamp set with the dies, and all of these bundles fit in this smaller machine. So for example, we have a bundle with these squares here, and it's called All Squared Away Bundle, and it is going from $50 to $40. And you'll be able to have a stamp set, a die set, and if you get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, then that is going to work together with that. And these are the other ones that they are going to have available. Some of them are things we brought back, some of them are current, that kind of thing. So you're going to be able to get anything from flowers to trees, sunflowers, pansy, sweet as a peach, wildcats, what's cooking bundle. This is kind of for a baker, somebody who likes to bake. There's the seascape bundle, hydrangeas, beauty of friendship bundle, art gallery. This one is gorgeous. These are so pretty. This is not going to do it justice. Garden wishes, quiet meadow, welcoming window bundle. So if you're interested in anything like that, just remember for March that is an option that's going to be discounted. I just want to make sure you knew about that. And I told you about this. Whew. Okay. Yowza. Too much, right? Too much for one day. I've been gone too long so that I haven't kept you up to date on things. So I took a little bit more time with that. But I'll be sending out I'm going to be sending out a newsletter soon that'll give you that information. I do want to include some project sheets, that kind of thing, to get you everything you need to be creative and have fun. And let me know too if you oh boy, talking too much. If you want to join my team, let me know, and there's some special perks going on from now to the end of February as well. Just give me a call, give me a text, give me an email. I need to get some water, don't I? Oh. Feel free to, here's where I am on Facebook. Here's where I am on YouTube. What else do we need? My website. Working on that, not completed. So don't, be surprised if it's not perfect. If you want to order from me, go to Stampin' Up. Look me up, Teresa Glow. Thanks so much. You have a great week. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. We will see you next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. as well. Thanks for joining me. Keep in touch.